Welcome back to WCI-TV. I'm Ed Highland, and we're brought to you by Tower MSA Partners. I'm joined now by Sarah Scott, who is the VP for Network Services at CorVel. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks so much for having me here.
Let's talk about CorVel and your role there as in Network Services. What do you do?
Sure, so I lead our network service team, which includes pharmacy solutions, ancillary care solutions, our provider network, IME, and medical bill review.
Give us a little bit more insight into CorVel as a company and how you're working in the workers' comp world.
Yeah, absolutely. So we started 45 years ago really in the managed care space. So managed care is really our roots, taking care of injured workers and making sure we bring them back to their pre-injury state and return them to work successfully. We've grown over the years, moved into the claims administration space, but we're still that medical-focused company.
And you were mentioning that you have a pretty good history. This is your first WCI, though.
This is my first WCI, so I've been with CorVel 24 years, over 25 years in the industry, and my first WCI. Very excited to be here.
Well, this is a critical moment, obviously, in the industry. It seems like every year is, but it's getting a chance for CorVel to actually have some face time with people. Tell us a little bit about the experience of being here, and also some of the innovations that I know you have in the pipeline.
Sure. So yes, anytime we can be able to connect with our partners out there and get to meet face to face and have that time to really collaborate, understand what's working well in their programs, where they see opportunities, and what they're looking for us to do next. So when we look at innovations, I think one of the biggest innovations we have out there right now is AI and how we can incorporate generative AI into our programs, how we can use that technology for work efficiencies to improve outcomes for our injured workers, and really to have an impact on our clients' outcomes.
And AI is obviously something that's becoming a bigger and bigger player in the
Absolutely.
industry. But for AI to work, you really have to have that human oversight, if you will.
Correct.
One thing we are talking about in terms of a theme here is partnerships. Can you bring all of what I just said together and talk a little bit about how partnerships and working with not only your customers, but the people who are involved with AI to make this something that's truly a human experience?
Sure, absolutely. So I think that's one thing, as soon as we started talking about generative AI, we heard from a lot of our partners out there, ooh, not too sure about that. How are you planning to use that? And so really we have to bring them in and we have to have that dialogue, have that collaboration of what do you expect to see out of this? Where is the limits of what we should be looking at? And we really engage them in that dialogue. So having upfront discussions, developing, designing those programs, and making sure their voice is heard in our program.
And how valuable, you mentioned I think 40 some odd years that CorVel's been around.
Yes.
How valuable is that? I mean, you, not you personally, but you as a company have seen the transition, what has happened over the years, and we jokingly said, you know, you missed 1 year in this industry and you've missed a lot. So bringing that experience to the table has got to mean an awful lot.
It definitely does. So I think if you go back 45 years or back to when I started within the industry, you saw very segmented programs. You saw a lot of players all being engaged in one program, and now you're seeing more integrated, collaborative approaches to that. And I think that's been the biggest change I've noticed in the industry over time.
Well, hopefully you'll get a chance to meet some folks, and they have now been introduced to you along the way, courtesy of WCI-TV. Sarah Scott, thank you so much for coming, and continued success at CorVel.
Appreciate it.
This is WCI-TV. I'm Ed Highland, and we're brought to you by Tower MSA Partners.